Hello everyone! Today I'm coming to you with my Star Wars Black Series collection tour. Very excited to show you all my figures from the Black Series. We of course did Marvel Legends the other day, but today I'm coming to you with my Black Series collection, which I have a lot of passion for. Not as many figures as Legends, because they don't make as many as Legends, but still a lot of Black Series, I'll tell you that. I do got a few Black Series, but love this line a lot. Love the figures. So without further ado, let's get started, and let's start with the Clone Wars shelf. So the Clone Wars shelf is either my first or second favorite. It's competing with the Mandalorian shelf. But there is a lot of clone troopers. I am a huge fan of army building and continuing to grow my army. But I'm going to start over in this corner. We have the Coruscant Guard, or the Shock Troopers. So these are the troopers that operate on Coruscant. Very cool to finally get those last summer. Amazing figures. I do hope to get 2 more, because I've kind of got this trend of having 6 troopers of each of the clones. I got 6 501st. I have 4 of these, but these just look so good in mass. And I love the feature where you can put the pauldron on or you can take it off. We got Fox there. In the back, we have the Camino clones with Wolf, which they don't match, but like they're not, he's supposed to have the Wolf pack, which we do got to get one day or another. But for now, they do match like color-wise, so I did put them together. Here we have some Mandalorians. We have the Death Watch Mandalorians. I did get 4 of those. Then we have just a very sore-thumbed Mandalorian, which I only bought 1 of, but I do really like that figure. We have Commander Bly there. Here we have my Clone Wars villains. We have Dooku, Ventress, Cad Bane, and we have Oracene, of course. Very cool figures. Keep giving us more bounty hunters. We need Embo very badly. I'll start over here now with the 501st area. So I did put this figure here because I didn't really know where to put it, but I'm tempted to put it on my miscellaneous shelf. We do have Echo and 6 501st Jet Troopers. I am in search of the 501st Archive Trooper. I pre-ordered around 20 at GameStop, but none of them have shown up yet anywhere in Canada. I don't know if they were delayed or canceled, but I do hope to get a bunch of those one day, because that is the army builder in which I will go ham on. Not that I didn't go ham on these, but I will go even crazier with those. There you can see some more I was going to say 212th, but more 501st, but those are the 332nd Troopers. So very cool figures. This is my first clone on that new mold. Love that figure. Do want to get more of those one day. And then we have the Hawk in the back. And then, of course, we have our trio, our Clone Wars trio. Here we have Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. Very cool figures. And then, of course, wrapping up the Clone Wars shelf, we do have the 212th shelf, or 212th area with Cody in the middle, and the brand new amazing 212th Troopers. But there is the Clone Wars shelf. There is Windu, which I think is in a good spot because I think he goes well with the Shock Troopers. But other than that, that is the Clone Wars shelf. My only Black Series shelf that isn't on or in a DTOF. But now let's get on to the DTOF ones and start off with the Rogue One shelf. So the Rogue One shelf is far from complete. There's a lot of figures I am still in search of. Well, not in search of, just waiting for an opportunity to get them. I obviously do not have the Cassian Jyn or the K2SO from the new figures. I think you can understand why. I just don't really want to drop $30 Canadian on each of them. I do want to get the Cassian soon, because that figure, I only got the blue version, and I do want to get that one. I really like that figure. But the Jyn, and I have a good K2, but the only reasons I would get them is because of the boxes. There you can see we got a bunch of Death Troopers, got a Vader in the back, didn't really know where to put him. And then we have the Scarab Trooper and the Hover Tank Pilot, and then Krennic and the Galen Erso, which we do need a new Krennic, but I don't think we're going to get one. It might be archived, but I doubt it. But there you can see the figures I have. I put Leia and a Rebel Trooper in the back there. But the shelf below this is very small and quick, is the Rebel shelf. Rebels is easily one of my favorite shows of all time. I love all the characters in the show and all of the different stories. I'm watching it with my mom right now, and she is not a fan of the animation of Star Wars, but she said it's one of her favorite Star Wars things that she's seen. And we're only on season 1. We just finished season 1, and she loved it. So it's only going to get better from there, but obviously you have Thrawn in the back. I did have him with 2 Death Troopers, but then I decided just to put them all on the Rogue One shelf. There you can see Chopper, the whole team, Zeb, Hera, Ezra, Kanan, Sabine, and then we do got the Ahsoka on that side. But that is all for that shelf. Not a lot to talk about. And then this is another very cool shelf. This is the Bad Batch shelf. So I did put the boss figure there, and I will put the rest of the Delta Squad on the shelf. I just think they work well with this. Even though we didn't see all of them in Bad Batch, I don't believe we saw Boss in Bad Batch, but I think he will work with this just because I do have a lot of figures on the Clone Wars shelf, and I don't know if I need any more on that, but I probably will move those one day when we get the more figures. But there is 3 figures that will fit like puzzle pieces that are going to come out in the next year. Obviously, we're going to have the Echo, which I'm so excited to get to complete the main team. And of course, the Omega, which will go in the middle right there next to Hunter and Wrecker. And then by Rampart and Imperial Crosshair, I am going to put the Bad Batch Cad Bane, which I'm very excited for. There you can see the Rex, the Tech. Love these figures. These are easily some of the best figures Black Series has put out ever, and I just can't wait to see what else they keep to make. There's some Elite Squad Troopers, which aren't the best figure, but I bought them before I saw the show, and I am happy to have them. I just wish they would be more accurate. But the final shelf for this first DTOF is the miscellaneous shelf for my Star Wars. I only have one of these, but this is a combination of gaming greats, the Legends figures, the book figures, all sorts of things. Some Mandalorian figures that I didn't really know where to put. Jaina Solo, Legends characters, just lots going on here. And this is a shelf where if I get a figure that I don't know where to put, I will put it here. Looking at that new Senate Guard, he will fit perfectly right behind the Jaina, and I will get him one day. I'm just not in a rush. I've seen him. I just don't know if I really want to pay the full price for it. But Zalbar, obviously some very cool figures in here, and some that are worth a decent amount. Now, actually, I don't know which ones are worth a decent amount. Maybe the Jaina, but these are all pretty common releases. But that is the first DTOF. Let's get on to the second one, with probably my favorite shelf being the Mandalorian shelf. So this shelf is easily one of my favorites, if not my favorites. I just put a lot of time and passion into this. Mandalorian is truly an amazing show. It's just an experience, more an experience than a show. I love this show so very much. There's so much in it that benefits the Star Wars canon and the Star Wars mythos. But here we can obviously see the brand new Book of Boba Fett figures, which look amazing. I'm so freaking happy to finally have them. I did put the helmets for most of the figures down there. I just think they look cooler. I gotta push that Kosk Reeves one back a bit. I just think they look cooler like that. We got the Beskar, got Grogu, got several Mandalorians, and I love that they're making like the Muddy Mando and the other Mandos, but I just like, I'm gonna buy them. I don't know if I don't know if I can have this many Mandos on a shelf. I already have like 3, but I might have to put them on the miscellaneous shelf. But I do really want that Muddy Mando. Not only for the box, but the figure itself is very cool. You can see Cobb Vanth in the back. And then I do want to get 4 or however many will fit back there, Dark Troopers to go with the Moff Gideon. I just think that'll look so cool. And then we get the Mortar Trooper and the Flame Trooper, the Scout Spider, yes. The Scout Speeder, the Speeder Scout, the Scout Ski, blah, blah. Okay. The speeder bike with Scout Trooper. There we go. I think that is proper. And then there you can see our characters, the armor. We have Paz Vizsla as well, which appeared in Book of Boba Fett. But that is a very cool shelf, and I could talk about this all day, but frankly, we do not have all day. So let's get on to the shelf below it, which is my Return of the Jedi shelf. Now, this one is very cool, but it is only going to get bigger, especially next year with the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. There's going to be more figures than will probably fit in this shelf, but just cool to see it before the chaos ensues next year. I have that Boba Fett, which is such an underrated figure. I think that's one of the best figures of all time. I played so much with that figure. I broke the bomb or the rocket. I got to glue that back on. Lots of effects there. And then we have the Vader, Imperial Guards, Bib Fortuna, which is falling over. Gamorrean Guards, Han Solo, Luke, Lando. We got the 2 Ewoks that they've made so far. Keep giving us more. And then we have the Force Ghosts, which look very cool, and I'm very happy to have those. And Luke and Leia on a speeder bike in the back, Akbar. But other than that, fairly simple, but it's only going to get crazier with the foreseeable future. And then the next shelf is just a very cool shelf, and one of the more complete shelves in my opinion, just because there's obviously, if they made a low bot and other figures, Bespin people obviously would benefit it, but I just feel like this Empire Strikes Back shelf is so complete. We have the duel between Vader and Luke in the back, and then we have these 6 bounty hunters, which are just crazy to have. There's 2 stormtroopers on the side, then we got Chewie in the front, Han with Leia, we got the Luke, we got the Lando, and then we got C-3PO and R2. But just a very wholesome and complete shelf, just very defining of Star Wars in general. And then the next shelf is technically also an Empire Strikes Back shelf, but this is a Hoth shelf. I did put the probe droid there. We have a lot of, or 1 snowtrooper, an AT-AT pilot. Probably going to get more of those one day, but I'm not in a huge rush. I forgot his name there. And then we have the Wampa with the Luke stormtrooper getting killed. Then we have a Rebel trooper. We have the Han, the Luke, and the Hoth Leia. But that is the Hoth shelf, and that is the second DTOF. So let's get on to the final DTOF, which is my least favorite, just because there's not as many cool figures than there is in these two. But let's still get into it and start off with the New Hope shelf. So the New Hope shelf here is a little confusing because I do have 2 Leias and 2 Lukes. I'm very happy with the Luke and the Leia, but I do think, I don't know. The problem with these different outfits from the same movie is I do kind of want to only have 1 version of each character on the shelf, but sometimes it's hard. There we have 4 of the Luke Skywalker Stormtroopers. That's Luke under that helmet, but I got those on clearance for like $12, so I bought a whole bunch of them for this shelf. There you can see some Tusken Raiders, especially cool seeing them in Book of Boba Fett. And then we have the Obi-Wan, which is a harder figure to find because he only came in the Cantina set, but I am very happy I got that set because this was mainly the only reason I got it, and the Cantina, I guess, but I really like this Obi-Wan, and the face just looks great. Jawa, Luke, but that is the New Hope shelf. And then the next shelf here is very impermanent right now because it is going to get split into 3 sections eventually. I do want to get a 3rd DTOF. I'm planning on getting a lot more DTOFs, and where will I put them? Who knows, but that is besides the point. This is my prequel shelf. I really want to have an episode 1 shelf, episode 2 shelf, and an episode 3 shelf, and I will one day. The problem is I have like Darth Maul from episode 1, Qui-Gon from episode 1, and Jar Jar from episode 1, and maybe I could put the battle droid, but am I really gonna have a shelf with 4 figures? I don't think that's, that's a good use of space. But I think in the future, they're obviously going to keep pumping out these prequel figures because there's so many we're missing. And as they keep pumping them out, the more and more I will be able to have these separate shelves. I have a lot of Attack of the Clones figures, I guess, but I still need to add, there's a lot of more figures they need to make. We got some Revenge of the Sith figures there, Jango, Grievous, but love the prequels. Love them a lot. No, don't care what people say. I love them very, very much. They're very near and dear to my heart, and I just hope they keep pumping out the figures, and they will, especially with that Ki-Adi-Mundi and Aayla Secura coming out in the summer. But the next shelf here, oh god, the I don't know, the Pegwormer shelf, I guess. I love these figures. They're, they kind of get ruined just because of how, how, like, not easy they are to find, but just, how, like, because having, like, a figure that's harder to find, I don't know, the Dengar, it's a cool figure to have, but just to have, like, these DJs and these Roses, they're cool figures, I guess, but, they're just they're not that great of investments, in my opinion, and they're kind of probably just sit here forever and collect dust. But the cool part of this shelf, in my opinion, is I really do like the First Order area. We got a lot of First Order troopers, some Sith Eternal Fleet figures. I believe that's what they're called. They're the Final Order with the 2 there. I like the sequels more than I think most people do, but I definitely don't love them. They do have a lot of problems, and they weren't that fulfilling for Star Wars, in my opinion. Then we have Solo figures, which is a underrated movie, in my opinion. I think that movie's cooler than people think. We're missing a lot of figures from that movie, and I doubt we'll get them, but whatever. Dryden Voss in the back. We got the Han Solo. Just some First Order and sequel era figures spread throughout. But don't get me wrong, I do love this shelf. I just, you know, it makes me sad to see the sequel merchandise nowadays just because of how far we've grown Star Wars wise. I guess not really. I guess people aren't in a huge love with Star Wars right now, but hopefully that'll change with Kenobi coming next month. But the final shelf here, very simple. This is the Cantina shelf. This is kind of just I had the Land Speeder on the New Hope shelf, but it's huge. Then I got the Cantina, and I thought, you know what? I think this will look cool, but I think it's definitely a cool shelf. But just like that, we have completed the Black Series tour. So obviously it's not as many figures as the Marvel Legends. It is still a lot of Black Series though, don't get me wrong. But I do have one last thing to show you. I guess a few more things to show you, but let's get into those quickly. So above the Phase 4 shelf for Marvel Legends, I do have some sealed Black Series. I guess the Lando isn't sealed. It's just the old one. I put it back in that box. The Boba Fett, however, is sealed. I do have a sealed TVC Maldo Kreis Mandalorian. We got the Credit Collection, Death Trooper, Cara Dune, and IG-11. I really do want to get the armor, the Grief Karga, and the Mandalorian. I just think that would complete the set for me. And I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of these, but I think they are cool in the context that I am growing up with Mandalorian right now, and I feel like in 20 years to have those is just going to be so cool to look back on because they're retro. They'll be retro by then. And then here we have the ever controversial, the Holiday Troopers, which there is a second wave that was supposed to come out at winter. We've seen pictures of, but they are not. I am guessing they're going to get pushed back. I do have a single Bad Batch Rex there, which I'm trying to sell, but that is that. And then my final Black Series are over here. I do have a sealed set of the Target exclusive Clone Wars figures, but that is all the Black Series. I want to finally show you, finish the video off with my TVC collection, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so we're going to finish it off with the TVC collection. I'm going to go through this very quickly because I just started collecting TVC under a year ago, and it's another wormhole, and hopefully I won't go fully in. But as you can see, I do have a decent amount of TVC so far. They're cool figures. I actually really like them. I didn't think I was going to like them as much as I do, but they are cool. Obviously got the Palpatine back there. We got a bunch of Ewoks. We got Leia, Luke, you know, a Mandalorian shelf. We got some sequel figures back there, a sealed Echo, and then a kind of bit of a Clone Wars area over here. But other than that, that does it for the collection. So let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything that I guess you're a fan of or you think should be rearranged. But thank you for watching this video. As always, huge fan of all of you. Thank you for the love and support. And as always, it's a multiverse of content, so I don't know what will be next. But until then, have a great time. I will say that. But as always, bye guys. Pew.